Welcome to Speak English Podcast with Rory and Alex.
Welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're getting into something we all think about, daily routines.
Yeah, but we're looking at it from a really specific angle, right? We've gone through a ton of sources, from productivity experts to language learning guides.
Exactly. And our mission for you is to pull out two things. First, the actual useful language you need to talk about your day.
And second, maybe more importantly, the philosophy behind what makes a good routine work.
Right. And what we found was this incredible consensus. All these different experts, they all came back to the same idea.
That small actions, these tiny little habits, are what really shape your entire day, your whole sense of well-being even.
So we've broken it all down for you into 4 key parts that all the best guides use.
Our goal is to give you a shortcut, really. A way to understand the structure and have the vocabulary to talk about it with confidence. Okay, so let's start with that core philosophy, because before you even get to the what, you have to understand the why.
And the sources were so clear on this. Routines aren't about being boring or, robotic.
Not at all. They're a tool. A tool to get organized, to cut down on stress, and just, to feel better.
And a big part of that is a mindset shift. It's about letting go of this need for everything to be perfect.
Yes. That's the trap, isn't it? We saw this phrase over and over, consistency over perfection.
I love that.
It's so powerful. The goal isn't to be flawless. It's just to show up, to be accountable to yourself.
So if you miss a day, you don't just quit.
You just start again tomorrow. That's it. It gives you permission to be human, which is what makes it sustainable.
What I found really interesting was hearing why these experts started their routines in the first place. It was often something dramatic.
A wake-up call. That phrase came up a lot.
Yeah, a wake-up call. People feeling completely burnt out or like their life was just chaos. Some even mentioned a health scare.
And that's what prompted them to completely overhaul their lives, to reclaim their mornings. They felt like time was just slipping away.
And that experience really shapes the kind of language they recommend using. It's very intentional.
It is. It's active. You don't just start your day.
Right. You say, I kick off my day with.
Yeah.
It just has more energy. It implies you're in control.
Or when you're making time for something important, you don't just do it. You carve out time for it.
Because you're literally cutting it out of a busy schedule. It's a deliberate choice.
And my favorite one, the simplest mental switch, is the power of adding one tiny word.
Yet.
Instead of, I can't stick to a schedule, you just shift it to, I can't stick to a schedule yet.
It opens the door. It removes that feeling of failure. Okay, so let's get practical. Let's talk about that first critical phase, the morning win.
This is where it all starts. The sources were unanimous. Those first few actions you take really do set the trajectory for the whole day.
And the wake-up times were all pretty similar, right? Somewhere in that 6.0 to 7 there was a young window.
Yeah, pretty tight. And almost everyone admitted to the same little sin.
Hitting the snooze button.
And this actually brings up a really useful vocabulary point for you. The difference between wake up and get up. Oh, that's a great distinction.
You wake up when your alarm goes off, but you don't get up until you physically leave the bed. Snoozing just widens that gap.
And a successful routine is about closing that gap, or at least making it more intentional.
Exactly. So instead of just lying there, some sources suggest maybe a gentle stretch or just listening to something calm while you're still in bed. It makes the get up part less of a shock.
So once you're on your feet, what's the first rule?
Don't check your phone.
The hardest one.
It is. But they argue that you need to start the day with your own intentions, not reacting to everyone else's emails and news alerts.
Okay, so no phone. Then what?
Hydration. Every single source mentioned this. A full glass of water.
And some were really specific about it being room temperature, right? To not shock the system.
Yes, to sort of gently jumpstart your metabolism. It's all about being gentle with yourself in the morning.
And after water, the rituals start to vary a bit. They do. Some people head right for the shower. Others need to wash their face with cold water or brush their teeth just for that instant I feel refreshed moment.
And a lot of them carve out that time for some kind of mental reset.
10 minutes of mindfulness, some light yoga, something to clear the mind before the day rushes in.
Then comes the fuel.
Yeah.
The great coffee versus tea debate.
The coffee people talk about the aroma, how it boosts their mood. The tea drinkers see it as a lighter, healthier choice.
But the breakfast itself was always quick. Toast, oatmeal, eggs, nothing complicated.
No, you save that mental energy for later. We also saw a couple of, let's call them advanced techniques.
Oh,
The first one is laying out your clothes the night before. It just eliminates that one decision from your morning. Simple, but brilliant.
total game changer. What's the second?
Finishing your shower with 30 seconds of cold water.
Okay, I have to admit, I tried that cold water thing last week.
You did?
Oh, I nearly yelled. Seriously. But I will say, nothing wakes you up quite like it. I was definitely a week after that.
It's intense. But to wrap this section up, just remember those core verbs you'll need. Brush my teeth, take a shower, get dressed, commute to work, and pack my backpack. Those are your building blocks.
So you've won the morning, you're feeling good,
Yeah.
but then you run straight into the wall.
The afternoon slump. Yeah. This next phase is all about maintaining that afternoon momentum.
It's so easy to feel sluggish or frazzled after lunch.
It is. And the sources say you have to be strategic about it. It starts with a pause.
Getting away from your desk.
Yes. Don't stay glued to the chair. Go for a short walk, get some fresh air. It helps to rejuvenate the mind.
And what you eat for lunch is a huge factor here.
Oh, massive. They all warned against a big, heavy, carb-loaded lunch. That's what leads to the post-meal crash.
So you want something more balanced, like a salad with some protein.
Exactly. Something that gives you energy instead of taking it away for digestion.
Now, for focus, there were two big techniques that kept coming up. The first one is pretty famous.
The Pomodoro technique.
Right. Can you break that down for anyone who's not familiar?
Sure. It's simple. You set a timer for 25 minutes, and you work on one single task with 0 interruptions.
No email, no phone.
Nothing. Then, when the timer goes off, you take a 5-minute break, stretch, get water, and then you repeat. It's about working in these intense, focused bursts.
And the other strategy was even simpler.
I love this one. Just write down your top 3 priorities for the afternoon. That's it.
So you're not overwhelmed by a huge to-do list.
Exactly. You're just focused on what's most important. It makes the afternoon feel manageable and helps you sustain that energy.
You can also schedule those mini breaks, a little 3 p.m. pick-me-up, like some fruit or nuts.
Yeah, something to keep you going.
Yeah.
It's all about being proactive, not just letting the slump happen to you.
Okay, the workday is ending. And this transition from work mode to personal time is maybe the most overlooked part of the routine.
It's so critical. This is the art of the wind down.
And it starts before you even leave the office, right?
It does. The first step is mental. Do a quick review of your day, see what's left, and move it to tomorrow's list. You have to perform a shutdown ritual.
You're officially closing the loop on work.
So you don't keep running through it in your head all night. You need to switch off from work mode.
Then you get home. What are the signals you can send your brain that, okay, work is really over now?
The first one is physical. Change into comfortable clothes right away.
That's such a powerful signal.
It really is. The second is to be mindful at dinner time. No phones, no TV, just focus on the meal.
It lets your brain actually relax.
For sure. And another one I thought was interesting was tidying up the kitchen right after dinner.
Why that?
Because leaving it messy creates this low-level feeling of chaos. Cleaning it gives you a sense of completion, so you feel more at ease.
And then as you get closer to bedtime, the focus is all on sleep.
On good sleep hygiene, yeah. The experts say to dim the lights around 9 p.m., that lower light level actually signals your brain to start producing melatonin.
So you're working with your body's natural rhythm.
Exactly. And the final rituals are all about clearing your thoughts.
A warm shower, reading a physical book, not a screen.
Right. And maybe writing a quick gratitude list or just reflecting on the day, anything to get the worries out of your head before you try to sleep.
And the final piece of the puzzle is prepping for tomorrow.
Yes. Laying out your stuff for the next day makes the morning so much smoother so you're not starting the whole cycle from a place of chaos. So we've walked through the whole structure, but let's zoom in on the specific vocabulary because that's how you really level up how you talk about this.
Right, moving beyond the simple stuff. We kind of saw two big categories of words. Words for the struggle and words for being intentional.
Let's start with the struggle. When you're describing that bad routine, you can use words like exhausting, chaotic, or frazzled.
I feel frazzled a lot. Or when you talk about that turning point, it was a health scare or a wake-up call. You felt burnt out.
And so you had to overhaul your whole life. You felt like your time was just dissipating or that things were really rocky.
Okay, so then on the flip side, what's the language of intentional living?
The proactive words. You want to reclaim your mornings. You jot down your priorities. You hold yourself accountable.
And at the end of the day, you're not just relaxing, you're winding down. You're reflecting.
You unplug so you can recharge. Maybe you indulge in a quiet moment with a book. All of these things lift your spirits.
And the ultimate goal is to make all of this feel like
Second nature.
second nature. So you can put it all together and say something like, after that health scare, I knew I had to overhaul my life and reclaim my evenings.
Exactly. It tells a much richer story. And just remember the little conversational bits, like using after that to link your actions, or around for times like, I ate lunch around 1.
It makes it all sound so much more natural. Okay, so let's bring this all together. What's the big takeaway for you? We've covered this idea of consistency over perfection.
We've laid out that 4-part day. The morning win, the afternoon momentum, the evening wind down.
And we've armed you with all this great intentional vocabulary to talk about it.
But, as we were looking at all this, one thing stood out. Everything we've talked about today is really for the busy weekday, the work or school routine.
Right. The sources all mention that the weekend is very different and more relaxed.
Which is great, but that relaxation can sometimes mean the day just evaporates. It just disappears.
So that kind of raises a final question for you to think about this week.
Yeah, if all this structure is what helps us feel in control during the week, what do we do with the weekend when we need that flexibility?
How do you keep that feeling of intention and self-care that we've talked about, but without the rigid schedule?
How do you stop your precious weekend time from just dissipating? What's the one small thing you could do to make your Saturday feel like you didn't just let it pass you by?
That's a great thought to chew on. We hope this deep dive helps you build a better day and find the words for it. Until next time, keep digging.